To say that today's Republican Party is in disarray, I think would probably be the understatement of the century. Obviously, with all of the drama surrounding House Republicans and their inability to pick a Speaker of the House, which basically means they cannot, of course, pick a leader for their party, kind of showcases the fact that Republicans were serious when they talked about not wanting the government to be involved in your business because the government's unable to do any business right now because of the Republican dysfunction. And so we just repeat that endless loop of chaos, which actually happens to be the phrase that the New York Times used to report the cycle that the Republicans are in, a endless loop of chaos. But the New York Times says they know exactly who's to blame, and Republicans across the country say they know who is exactly to blame. And that person is Donald Trump, of course, because everything the Republicans in the House do, the shadow of Donald Trump looms over them, right? We know that Donald Trump wanted Kevin McCarthy ousted as the Speaker. We know that Donald Trump has been forcing Republicans, encouraging them, one, to impeach Biden. Let's not forget, with all the Republican chaos, there's still technically an impeachment inquiry that's supposed to be happening. It's not going so well, but it's supposed to be happening. And then all the other hearings they've had, the weaponization of government, the Hunter Biden hearings, all of those have fallen completely flat, and Donald Trump has basically forced Republicans to do all of it. But I think at this point, it's a little too easy to just say that all of the problems the Republican Party has, it's all because of Trump, right? Trump is a scapegoat at this point. Look, he's caused a ton of chaos. He causes chaos to this day. But let's not pretend that before Donald Trump came along, the Republican Party was cruising along at just doing everything perfect. No, they're not. They weren't. And they won't be long after he's gone either. The Republican Party has been basically in disarray since Richard Nixon. I mean, really, you could probably go a little bit before that, but let's be real here. Once Nixon's scandal, came to light, Republicans were terrified, looking for a new leader. They thought they found it in Ronald Reagan, who they heralded, by the way, as the god of their party for decades after he left office. But Reagan kind of gave birth to a lot of the problems in the Middle East today. He destroyed unions. He destroyed the media. And that, of course, put us on the path that we're on today, the path of economic hardship, the path of right-wing media dominance here in the United States. And the right-wing media dominance gave birth to stupid talk from people like Rush Limbaugh, then later on Fox News. And that's evolved into this wide network of idiot conservatives out there with 100 times the audience that the left gets, convincing people to still be stupid. Trump didn't do any of that. Trump wasn't involved in any of that. So the party was on its way to total chaos before Trump came along. Like, even if Trump hadn't come along, I mean, look at the other people that were running for president in 2016 against Donald Trump. Ted Cruz? You think that's a normal, functional guy? Hell no. Rand Paul? Ben Carson? Carly Fiorina? No, just a horrible crop of horrible people. I mean, hell, even going back to 2008, John McCain, not good to begin with, and then he picks Sarah Palin. And let's not forget, of course, the 8 years of George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. I mean, my God, I could sit here for 2-3 hours and barely scratch the surface of Republican dysfunction. So again, the New York Times and all of these Republicans out there across the country saying that the root of it is Donald Trump, sure. But that's like just one root off the plant. You've got to go to all the other roots as well. And it's easy, right? Because the media doesn't ever want to have to think. The media doesn't want to have to rehash, all the things that I just briefly mentioned to talk about Republican dysfunction spanning back 60 years. So they take the easy way out. They say, nope, Trump's fault. Trump's a crazy guy. 91 indictments against him. Yeah. He sucks. It's his problem. The Republican Party would be fine without Trump. That's not true. And if you've only been paying attention to politics for like the last 7-8 years, you'd probably believe that it's true. But you got to dig a little deeper, because the Republican Party was on this path long before Donald Trump came around, and it'll still be on this path long after he's gone. It didn't start with him. it won't end with him, because Republicans fundamentally do not know how to govern. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.